Thank you. I'll give the call to the member for Geraldton.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. Fellow members of Parliament, family, friends and the people of Geraldton, thank you for this opportunity. Before I begin, I'd like to congratulate all the newly elected members to the 42nd Parliament and thank both sides of the House and the parliamentary staff for the warm welcome. I look forward to working alongside you and getting to know you in the years ahead. When writing an inaugural speech, we all strive to create a lasting impact, one that inspires others and drives meaningful change. I hope to do just that by speaking to the values that guide me and the vision for a future that uplifts and unites. I stand here today completely humbled, deeply honoured and above all, profoundly grateful. Not since 1947 has there been an elected national, formerly the Country Party member for Geraldton. It's a privilege to be elected as a Member of Parliament and to represent the community and region that has shaped who I am. I come into this role not claiming to have all the answers, but with a curious mind, an open heart and a fierce commitment to listen, learn and lead. To me, politics is about service above self. It's about community and people. It's about amplifying the voices of working individuals, families, young people, people with disabilities, Aboriginal communities, LGBTIQ+ people, culturally diverse groups and seniors. These voices must be heard, respected and valued in every decision we make. At the core of everything I do is a deep commitment to community and people, a passion for regional areas and a dedication to making a difference. For much of my working life, I've had always maintained an apolitical approach, content to keep it that way. However, over time, particularly in the last 4 years in the aftermath of Cyclone Seroja, and seeing regional voices being diminished through the abolition of regional representation in the other place, along with the loss of the electorates of Central North West and more into the seats of Midwest, I found myself at a crossroads. When disaster struck in 2021, including our own farming property, I witnessed firsthand the devastation Seroja left behind. Homes destroyed, businesses ruined, lives overturned. But what I remember most vividly is the resilience of our community. Neighbours helping neighbours, strangers becoming friends, an unstoppable spirit that refused to be broken. I saw what true leadership meant, rolling up your sleeves, getting on the ground and getting to work. Seroja tested our leadership and our ability to rebuild stronger. Sadly, the recovery was slow and frustrating. Red tape strangled progress, and to this day, too many homes and businesses remain in limbo. I still deeply feel the abandonment of our region experienced when vital investments were withdrawn and the concerns of our communities seemed to be ignored. It was through this experience that my road to politics was truly cemented. It taught me that real change happens when good people stand up, speak up and take action. In 2024, I joined the Nationals WA because I believe, as they do, in the power of local leadership, in standing firm for regional values and in fighting relentlessly for the future of our communities that they deserve. Having called Chapman Valley and Geraldton home for most of my life, having only lived permanently in 3 postcodes, 6532, 6530 and 6153, it was with great pride that I acknowledged the presence of some of my family here today who also called Chapman Valley and Geraldton home. I'm the youngest daughter of Shirley and Milton Mitchelton, with only my brother Craig younger than me, who today could not be here as he is busy seeding crops at the family farm. Sisters Narelle, who is also watching live stream back in Geraldton, Karina and Nadine, who are here with me today. We observed Mum and Dad work tirelessly to build a future for us all. They were both generational farmers and active community members, always ready to pitch in and get things done with whatever resources were available. They provided a childhood of freedom and adventure, rare in today's world. We spent our days riding motorbikes and horses, chasing sheep, planting trees and building cubby houses. I cherish memories of bush picnics, starry nights and making mud pies after the rain, only captured in a few Polaroid photos. Our communication was a landline, ringing constantly between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m, with calls from farm agents and suppliers. The 7 p.m. ABC News was our weather report and the link to the outside world, vicariously sparking my early interest in politics. Weekends were filled with church, tennis and golf, and mail arrived once a week at a communal mailbox on the local road. Trips to Geraldton were rare treats, while events like the local show and Christmas tree celebrations were always highlights. The school bus ride took an hour each way with no air conditioning or smartphones. Gosh, to think Chapman Valley only got its first mobile phone tower in 2016. A milestone I proudly helped advocate for. Whatever the challenges, I look back in this upbringing and it was idyllic, and instilled in me the value of hard work, responsibility and a deep connection to both people and the land. From age 11, I left home, not ever returning to live at home again for long periods, to attend Dallahale Boarding House and Geraldton Senior High School. I grew both academically and personally, embracing the independence of boarding school. This period shaped my resilience, work ethic and sense of responsibility while strengthening my bond with the Geraldton community through sporting pursuits and local activities. It was the formative years after high school that really shaped my love for rural Australia. I spent a gap year in Texas as a Rotary Youth Exchange student. This transformative experience broadened my worldwide view and deepened my appreciation for global connections. And when I flew out, it was the first time I remember ever seeing my dad cry. I then pursued a Bachelor of Science at the University of Western Australia, majoring in exercise and health with a minor in business commerce. To support myself, I worked as a casual waitress at Miss Maud's Fremantle and Matilda Bay Tea Rooms Kirralee. I became the first in my family to graduate from university, a milestone that reinforced my pride in my educational journey. And after graduation, I received a Rotary Ambassadorial Scholarship to study at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada. All those years were full of challenges, including homesickness and big adjustments. But I found strength and warmth in the people around me. But ultimately, in 2002, love brought me back home. I married a farmer from just down the road in 2007 during some tough drought years, and today together we're raising a family, running a business and committing ourselves to the place we proudly call home, the electorate of Geraldton. For those who don't know Geraldton, it's a region defined by big ideas and a true sense of community. It's a place rich in history and full of promise, from the Yamaji people, whose deep connection to the land stretches back millennia, to the farmers, fishers, miners, business owners and families who continue to nurture and grow our community. Geraldton is fringed by the sparkling turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean, vast farming plains, the striking Moresby Ranges and vibrant carpets of wildflowers that paint the landscape in spring. It is home to the iconic Australian landmarks like Hutt Lagoon, the Pink Lake, Nature's Window at Kalbarri National Park, leaning trees thanks to the strong southerly winds, HMAS 2 Sydney Memorial and the Batavia Shipwreck. Our vibrant communities stretch from Northampton to Kalbarri to Mullawar, Greenough and Walkaway. It is also home to close-knit communities like Benue, Una, Nabawar and Nansen, as well as the dynamic and growing city of Geraldton. I've witnessed many changes over the years, some welcome, others more challenging. But today I stand filled with not with fear, but with hope. Hope for what Geraldton has already achieved and hope for what lies ahead. The highly anticipated Oakajee Industrial Estate is located just to the north in the Shire of Chapman Valley. Few people know this estate. I'm fortunate to know a little something about it. I wrote about Oakajee in a Year 9 English essay, and later worked on it as a planning officer and then as a local councillor for more than a decade. Some of those years as the Shire's youngest and first female Shire president. I've engaged in countless conversations with locals, stakeholders, developers and even opponents, and helped zone the land, revise the structure plan and even relocated the last resident from the industrial core zone, an emotional task I remember vividly almost 20 years ago. Now earmarked as a project of state significance, Oakajee offers enormous opportunity. But for it to succeed, governments must work genuinely with local communities. Locals are just not stakeholders, they are custodians of the future. True progress is only possible when those most affected are genuinely heard and empowered. Planning must respect them, not just tick boxes. To the west, the potential tourism and established fishing grounds of the Abrolhos Islands await, a hidden gem of Western Australia, rich in history, biodiversity and economic opportunity. The Abrolhos are not just a series of islands, they are a living link to our maritime past. The islands also support some of our most valuable fisheries, particularly the Western rock lobster, which has sustained local communities and contributed significantly to the state's economy for generations, as well as scallops, octopus, oysters and pearls. With thoughtful development, the Abrolhos could become a world-class model for ecotourism and sustainable fishing. Tourism in the region is steadily maturing, thanks to strong foundations established through initiatives like the 2014 Midwest Blueprint and previous investment via the Royalties for Regions program. These efforts have been pivotal to transforming the Midwest in a sought-after destination, showcasing the diverse natural beauty and unique experiences our regions have to offer. Projects like Kalbarri Skywalk highlight our region's extraordinary natural landscapes in a way that captures the imagination and admiration of all who visit. As a former Midwest Development Commission board member, I'm proud to have helped drive these projects. To the east and south, our region is anchored by rich agricultural and mining resources, industries that have long been the strength of our economy, yet beyond these traditional commodities lies immense potential for future industries including renewable energy, critical minerals, value-added manufacturing and agri-innovation. With the right investment, planning and support, these sectors can create new jobs, strengthen regional resilience and ensure that future generations continue to thrive in the Midwest. Acting Speaker, as you can hear, Geraldton is a region full of opportunity, strategically positioned to unlock its full potential and build a prosperous future. As the member for Geraldton, I'm committed to championing the issues that matter most to our community, the concerns I hear every day, the priorities I campaign to address. I will fight tirelessly to ensure Geraldton's future is shaped by the needs, hopes and aspirations of its people. My goal is clear: to leave a legacy that makes a real difference, creating lasting opportunities and a stronger, brighter future for generations to come. Geraldton is calling out for safer communities, where people feel safe walking the streets and secure in their homes. We must tackle crime at its roots by addressing the underlying causes and properly funding local police with permanent rapid response teams in place. Building trust between residents and law enforcement through strong community programs is essential, alongside action to combat antisocial behaviour and create safe public spaces. Everyone deserves the Geraldton we remember, where children played freely, neighbours walked without fear and homes were places of true safety. This also means stronger support for victims of domestic violence, better access to mental health services and a judicial system that applies penalties consistently and fairly. Access to quality healthcare should not be a privilege for big cities. It must be a right for everyone. One of my priorities is improving healthcare in Geraldton so people aren't forced to travel long distances to Perth for essential care. Like a mother seeking a paediatrician appointment because a child health nurse identifies a growth abnormality. The young infant requiring cardiac surgery, to the son who had to wait over 6 hours for treatment in ED, the mother, grandmother who dearly would have loved to receive cancer treatment closer to home, to the sister who required mental health care and support, and to the father who suffers Parkinson's and needing a neurologist. They deserve care closer to home, surrounded by loved ones. These people are my family. We need real investment in local clinics, hospitals and specialised services, giving health professionals the tools they need to deliver the best care. Expanding the telehealth and mobile health units will also ensure remote communications are not left behind. Better local health care means a stronger, healthier Geraldton. Affordable quality housing is also essential for strong communities. We need greater investment in diverse housing options, from affordable homes for families and rentals for young people to crisis accommodation for those homeless. Good housing will help seniors to age in place and strengthen our workforce, supporting local businesses and drive sustainable population growth and secure Geraldton's future. We also need to invest in education and training to ensure that young people in Geraldton can see a future for themselves. Geraldton is already leading the way with the Geraldton University Centre. The GUC has been a lifeline for many young people in our community, allowing them to pursue higher education right here at home. Without it, many students would have been forced to leave Geraldton to access tertiary education, often with added burden of moving away from family and support networks and at a huge expense. It's about creating an environment where young people can grow up with the knowledge that there are fulfilling careers available right here in their hometown, whether it's through apprenticeships, internships or university partnerships. Backing our regional industries, agriculture, mining, manufacturing and more. It's also vital. These sectors are the backbone of Geraldton and they must be supported with strong regional policies, investment in innovation and better access to basic services like telecommunications. I have long advocated for strong regional development frameworks because I believe in protecting our ways of life, supporting local jobs and ensuring young people see a future here in Geraldton, a future built on opportunity, resilience. May I have a short extension?
Extension granted.
Thank you. Resilience and pride in our community. Modern infrastructure is the backbone of a strong regional economy. Upgrading our roads, rail, ports and energy networks is critical to boosting local industries, supporting business growth and meeting the needs of the growing population. For too long, I've watched our roads crumble from chronic underinvestment, lives lost and families devastated from road fatalities. That must change. We need serious investment. But it's not just about fixing what's broken. It's about building a future we can be proud of. Long-term planning means investing in sustainable energy, smart technology and infrastructure that grows with our community. Our schools, hospitals and community spaces must be future-proof to give our children every opportunity to succeed in a changing world. Western Australia's success is driven by the strength of its regions, thriving country communities that create the wealth, opportunity and innovate that power our entire state. We need a government that recognises this, both now and into the future, and delivers for every Western Australian. I call on my fellow members, open your hearts and minds to the realities of rural and regional life. Please, be curious. Ask the questions you don't yet know to ask. Take that understanding back to your electorates. Share with your constituents the true challenges facing regional, rural and remote communities. Only by bridging the gaps in understanding can we leave this state better than we found it. None of this would be possible without the support of my community. To the people of Geraldton, supporters and followers, thank you for trusting me with your stories, your struggles, your dreams, whether it was at the doors, at the markets, at events or on the streets, or like the 14-year-old girl who stopped to chat with me most days at pre-poll. Your faith humbles me every day. To the past teachers, shout out to my primary school teachers who sent me cards and emails last month upon entering Parliament. Friends, branch members, the teams of volunteers and the dedicated campaign committee, Tash, Liz, Callie, Julie and Jazz, who stood by me. To mentors in party stalwarts, the Honourable Martin Aldridge, who is here today, who's about to deliver his valedictory from the other place. Murray Criddle, OAM, Ian Blaney and Grant Woodhams, your collective wisdoms are drops of gold and are invaluable to me. someone who grew up watching you in this place, it is now a pleasure to know you personally. To the people I call my campaign family, many I'm fortunate to also call my friends. Campaign Manager Rob Hortzman, Campaign Coordinator Debbie Carson, Campaign Champion and Encourager, and possibly the person who kicked this off for me, Paul Brown, State Campaign Director Nathan Quigley. Together we've shared a vision of fairness, opportunity and hope, and maybe a few tears, sighs of relief, and a lot of fun along the Wombat Trail. I'm deeply grateful to you and your time, your tireless energy, belief and determination. You have made this journey possible for me. I will be forever indebted to your commitment in pursuing this on my behalf. To the National Party, thank you for choosing me. State Director Julie Kirby and her team, State President Julie Freeman, the Young Nats, State and Federal members, Secretariat and staffers, I appreciate all that you have done during the campaign. To my national colleagues, as local champions, you said yes to making a difference. The people of the regions have spoken, and thanks to their support, we've secured one of the National's best election results yet. This achievement is a true reflection of the strength in our team. Special thanks to Nationals Party leaders in members for Midwest, Shane Love, Member for Roe, Peter Rundle, for your unwavering support. To the Member for Albany, Scott Leary, to the Member for Warren Blackwood, Bevan Eates, and the Member for Wheatbelt, Lachlan Hunter, and newly declared members in the other place, Julie Freeman and Rob Hortzman. Together, we will deliver for our communities and strengthen the future of Western Australia. We will continue to be a strong voice for the regions and build on the powerful legacy left to us by leaders like Mia Davies, Hendy Cowan, Terry Redmond and Brendan Grills. Let's keep pushing for meaningful change. To my extended family, Brett's family, Avon and Janine, who are here with me today, and those who I call family, thank you for your years of support. I often wonder what Brett's mum, Wendy, who passed so early in life, long before I really got to know her, would think of all of this. I hope she would be proud. Excuse me. Mum and Dad, who are here also with me today, you've always supported me, even when the way forward wasn't clear. You've been my biggest cheerleaders, encouraging your family to dream big and believe we can achieve anything if we put our minds to it. You both embody strength and love, and I admire your resilience through tough times. I've learned from you both that kindness is a strength, that you should treat others as you would want to be treated, and that standing up for your mates is the essence of true leadership. To my children, Zoe and Reese, you are my greatest teachers, and they say you cannot be what you cannot see, and I know you have seen a lot in your short years. You've grown up in council chambers, community meetings and boardrooms, often with iPads, books and snacks in hand as we crisscross the region. You inspire me every day to work for a future where every child knows they belong and every dream is possible. And especially to Brett, my safe haven, where I'm simply Kira, wife, mother to our children and farmer. The roles I cherish most, my partner in every season of life. Thank you for your steadfast love and support. Thank you for holding me up when I couldn't stand on my own, both physically after a back surgery and emotionally through tough times, and cheering our next wild adventure from afar or near. After more than 20 years together, I love you more than words can express, and I still think I'm so lucky to have you by my side. There's no doubt I'm here because of the power of hard work, perseverance and deep commitment to community. That's what shaped me, and that's what will guide me every day in this role. I won't sit idle. I'm ready to work, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, with you, for you and because of you. I'm ready to push for the action and investment our community and our state deserves. Thank you, Acting Speaker. I look forward to playing my part in good government in this great state of Western Australia.
Members, go to it again. Members,